Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What's up, everybody? How are you doing today? It's getting close. It's getting real close. July 24th, Friday, 9:45 a.m. Wherever you are in the world, I say welcome. Tap in as you see this live stream, whether it's now or uploaded on our podcast playlist. Johnny Says Boxing, just like the video. If you haven't subscribed yet to YouTube, you should be subscribing. I got some statistics the other day from YouTube. I don't know if it's good or bad, but a big percentage of you guys who watch my content consistently haven't hit subscribe. So do that for me. It'll help us continuously grow. On the screen is a link to join our world famous Johnny Says Boxing professional betting Discord. It's more than just boxing. It's a couple bucks a month. You become part of our growing community. Click that link. You can either join here on YouTube or Patreon. We stream all the fights in the Discord. We film study. More importantly, you get to pick the brains of guys who know a lot about sports equal to myself. It's filled with boxing sharps, MMA sharps. We got channels for all. There's tennis, hockey. My bread and butter, other than boxing and MMA, is college football. College football starts soon. Go Buckeyes. So join the Discord. I'll leave that link pinned. And if you are a JSB insider, either on YouTube or Patreon, and you're not in the Discord, DM me, send me a message. What are you doing? You got to get in there. All right, I know you guys want to talk. The next thing I'm going to say is, from what I've learned and what I've heard speaking to guys who know a little bit more than me, insider info, I am personally going to wait until the weigh-ins to put any action on Liam and Fulton. Any real action. I did follow Youngin. If you're in our Discord, shout out to Youngin. If you're on the live stream, what's up, brother? He puts together moonshot parlays. There is a moonshot parlay that I tailed earlier in the week with Liam as the dog. Nothing heavy, though. The odds are crazy. But for my official prediction for Liam versus Fulton, I am going to wait until the weigh-ins. I will be at the weigh-ins. If you live in Sydney, they're 12 p.m. Saturday at the ICC at the amphitheater down there. So if you're there, hit me up. I'll be there. I want to see what Fulton looks like. I want to see if he makes weight at 130. I want to see what Liam looks like. So other than that, I'll leave the floor open to you guys. If there's any JSB insiders who want to come on, I'll drop the link. Yesterday, we did an excellent live stream with Julius. Julius knows boxing. He's a JSB insider and a sharp. Just launched his own YouTube channel. Very knowledgeable guy. Shout out to Jay. If anyone wants to come on, let me know. And then I'm going to tap in right now. Youngin, there's Moonshot right there. Let's go. Those odds are crazy. A little six-legger paying like 600 to 1. Why not sprinkle, right? The JSB insiders know it. What's up, boy Slew? Johnny a bit worried was so. Yeah, look, man, I can't. You guys aren't getting the fight, which is crazy. Are you, John? Are you getting the other fights? Are you getting Callum Peters? Are you getting Paulo Acuso? Are you getting Fulton? Are you getting the card? Are you just not getting EJ versus Tim? Let's go. Full unit on Tim. Power Kennel, my guy. Look, mate, full transparency. I know it's the fight that has been getting the most buzz because there's so much weight to the fight. I only have Errol versus Tim on one ticket. I know that this is the fight that is kind of over-consuming my feed on YouTube and Instagram. Everybody should know by now, I have my underdog of the week in boxing is Tim Tszyu. Even if I was a content creator who didn't go into full detail like I do, I think we're growing because of the detail that we get into. I'm not just picking fights, the breakdowns, right? Even if I was one of these guys who are just picking underdogs and who had a base level knowledge of the game and were just fronting like they knew the game, it's hard not to take Tim Tszyu at plus money in Sydney, right? So you know my breakdown publicly. We've been talking about it all week. I'm kind of tired about I am kind of tired of talking about it, of Tszyu versus Errol. My YouTube has been flooded with Errol Spence lovers, which is great. My Instagram has been flooded with Errol Spence lovers, which is great. I'm not one to shy away from my picks. I stand on business. You know that. I don't just tell you who I'm taking. The JSB insiders see my tickets. I have one ticket, full unit, on Tszyu on the money line at plus 135. He doesn't appear on any other tickets. So, in a community like ours, where we break down all of the fights, I got to be honest with you. From a betting perspective, Tszyu versus Errol Spence is just one ticket amongst 6 or 7, right? There are a lot of emotions being poured into this fight for various reasons, which we know. If you're not getting the fight, maybe don't bet it if you don't feel comfortable with it, because there are a lot of unknowns. You don't have to bet it. It's up to you. Follow your gut. I saw a couple of you boys in my comment section saying that I changed your mind. You were going to go for Errol. Now you're. That's not my intention. Stick to your guns. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. You get me? Like, obviously, I'm not flip flop. The story is about you guys flip flopping. Anyway, there's a lot of fights to talk about. I'm a bit exhausted about talking about Tszyu versus Spence by now, but if you want to talk about it, we can. Let's go. Let's go. What's up, Rodrigo? Let's go. Drummond Morning, looking forward to Sunday. So, yeah, we need answers, baby. At least we'll get answers, right? And the whole card is stacked, and there's a lot of good fights on that card. A fight that is getting overshadowed is Ahmad Rita versus Paul Fleming. That is a great fight. It's a great fight with a lot of meaning on both guys' careers. You have a guy in Paul Fleming who feels that he never got his flowers on the world stage. He was, in his moment, he was controlling Charlie Suarez and winning the fight handily. And then he got stopped late. And then he disappears from boxing for a few years and then reemerges. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but I thought Jake Wiley beat him. It was called a draw. And now he gets this fight against a very rising prospect / potential Aussie domestic star in Ahmad Rita. And Rita didn't just come out of nowhere. People in the know have known about this kid and his family, the Fighting Ritas. There's a bunch of them. And people have a lot of high hopes for Rita and his career. I like how they've been matching him. I thought the Bruno fight was a step up. This Paul Fleming fight is a step up. And so that I'll be at the fights. That's the one that I can't wait for that fight. Obviously, the main event for various reasons. Callum Peters is on the card, fighting a tough Argentinian fighter. Paulo Cuso's on the card. The card it has some really good fights on it. Liam Wilson and Steph. A lot of unknowns in this fight. So, Adu, will you be going to the way? I'll be at the weigh-ins, Adu. I was at the public workouts, the open workouts early. I didn't stay the whole time. I saw you boys. I saw the photos you boys were taking. It's good to see you guys. If you're at the weigh-ins, I'll definitely be there the whole time. We'll link up, do a photo, put it in the group, put a face on the name. Any thoughts on Serenko Wallin? I'm not betting on this fight. I don't have action on Serenko Wallin. I'll show you the odds real quick. Personally betting on the fight, but sometimes if I don't have action on fights, it's due to timing of my sports book not giving me the fights early. This is kind of a double. It's kind of that. My book only gave me X amount of fights up until yesterday. I already put my long parlay in. You guys have my dogs. You have my method of victories. The Otto Wallin fight was not on my radar. I did do a little bit of tape because you guys asked me. Otto Wallin's opponent's tape is not good. Otto Wallin, in my opinion, the fight itself versus Serenko, if you're going to bet on this fight, you got to ask yourself, why are you betting on this fight? Are you looking for a parlay piece to take you to plus money? Do you really love Serenko as a dog? At this stage of both guys' careers, even though Serenko is a dog, that's not a dog that I would bet on regarding he'll fight for my money. You know what I'm saying? I have a better dog for you if you're looking for a dog. And Otto Wallin, he's not a guy at 56% that I want to throw on a parlay. So I'm leaving that fight alone personally. He won't leave no stone unturned. Word on the street is the dogs escaped the dog pound this weekend. Let's go. I got a shout out to J-Sai in Barium. We got our resident encyclopedia back. We got like 5 to 10. There might be more. I gotta make a list of our whole. I think our whole group, our whole community are secret weapons because every week somebody emerges. You know what I'm saying? Within our JSB Discord, Barry Unboxing took a week off. He was traveling. We missed him, but he gives these excellent, comprehensive breakdowns, dude. And the kid has a really sharp eye for these things. And on the live stream yesterday, J-Sai, who's in our Discord, put me on to this fight. He said, watch the tape. Let me know what you think. And after the live stream yesterday, I watched the tape. And then by the time I got to the Discord, everybody was applauding. I didn't realize Barium had done a comprehensive breakdown on this. And from what I've seen, the amateur pedigree, even though Nestor hasn't been the most active, he's the underdog here. He's fighting a guy, an American, who's 11-0 with 11 knockouts, who's the favorite. I think Nestor wins this fight. If you're in the Discord, you could check out Barium's breakdown. If you want, you could do your own research. I'm going to give you a Cliff Notes version of evidence and stats that probably could get you over the edge. This is the favorite in the fight. This is Keyshawn. I will move my head real quick. So this is Keyshawn. Keyshawn is 11-0 with 11 knockouts. He is the favorite. This is on the Zuffa card. He's 27. He's fighting a guy who hasn't fought in 2 years, who's 35, who's a European with a good amateur background. Notice the record. 100% knockout to win ratio. Heavyweight, 27, turned over in 2022. Look at his resume. We talk about this all the time. I have a list of why resumes aren't always going to be the end all and be all for my betting action, but the resume better be an element of the conversation of where you're going to put your money. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you could see a fight. I only use this fight because we were talking about it last night. Aston Brown, it was a domestic Brit UK fight a couple months ago. Aston Brown versus Sam Gilly. And Aston Brown was the A side, the hometown kid, 9-0, 8 knockouts. And Sam Gilly was, the guy with more experience, the B side, who didn't have a perfect record. And when you looked at the resumes before we even got to the tape, you would have seen that Sam Gilly was in there with higher level opponents, fringe world level guys, and Aston Brown, this was his step up. And I felt then the books had it wrong. And we took the dog. We took the dog by knockout and we smashed it. And that's an example. This is the same. Look at Davis. Look how they manufactured this guy. 3-21, 5-20, 3-5, 3-15, 3-10, 3-4, 0-2, 2-10, 0-3. Never fought a guy with a winning record, not even close to it, and never fought a guy. Never really had been challenged. Not a really extensive amateur career. None at all. He's fighting a guy named Mihai Nestor. The fight was not on my radar until you boys put it on my radar. He's a Romanian guy, 8-0, 8 knockouts. So Zuffa knows what they're doing. Zuffa's pairing these guys. Both guys are undefeated with 100% knockout to win ratios. It's a good sell, right? It's a good sell. If you're only doing the odds based on records and not looking at the experience, it's not like Nestor has a stellar pro resume. But when you look at who he's been fighting and their records and sort of how he operates, and you do a little bit more of a deep dive, he is on a 2-year break, though. That's a warning. But, coming out of the amateurs, he was paired much more difficult. And this guy is aggressive as hell when you watch his tape. He's here for a short time, not a long time. When we're looking at a guy who will fight for your money at the odds that we're getting, dude, I got him at plus 280 last night. He's down to plus 195. Personally, if you're looking for a dog and you don't like Tszyu and you're not, I think this kid right here is a great dog. He's on the Zuffa card. So shout out to Barium. Shout out to J-Sai. Fulton by decision. What's up, fellas? Fatboy Slim. AV tried searching for that moonshot in the Discord. Can't find it. Fatboy Slim, just DM me on the Discord. I'll send it to you. DM me on Discord. I'll send it to you. What's up, Eli? Salute, Johnny. Excited like everyone else for the week. Not going to lie. I'm riding with Butler by knockout. Plus Kelly, Satsumi, Shiraz, and Joshua. Bank by knockout. Nice, man. Eli, if you want, it'd be cool to, put those in the Discord because, we're the boys would definitely appreciate it for those who aren't watching the live stream. You know what I'm saying? I like all of these, and I am kind of breaking one of my strategies of betting. Everybody out there, you guys have your own strategies, and if you're new to this, you'll develop your own strategies. One of them is similar to horse racing. If you've ever bet on horses, you ride a horse until they break you, until they don't place. There's certain guys I know. Horse racing's massive here in Australia. I go to a lot of races. Some of my clients own horses, and so win, place, or show, right? 1, 2, or 3. Guys make fortunes off of that sort of sequence with horses, right? Boxers, when you have a fighter, you ride that fighter. Over the last 18 months, Stephen Butler has won me boatloads of money, just like yourself. Probably a lot of you guys. Ive the Tiger has won us boatloads of money. I usually will ride a guy until they prove to me that, through a loss. Butler by knockout has been the play for at least a year. The prop has been feeding families. Now, sometimes also in betting, there comes a predictive element to where you can predict when it's time to fade a guy. You can predict when it's time to get off that horse. I feel with Butler, based off of the promotional company that he's coming from, how they've manufactured him, how he's looked in his losses, he's coming up a weight class, going up against Berlanga in New York City. This is a kid who looks great in Canada. You take him abroad, doesn't always have the best sort of results. Berlanga, when he's fallen short, it's against Canelo and Shiraz. I mean, not too long ago, we watched Butler get knocked out by a Mexican journeyman. He's been knocked out multiple times. So that's the only bet on that one that I've gone against. But I have Berlanga on the money line on a short parlay. I think I got him a 32% return. And the moonshot, that youngin that I tailed, has Berlanga by knockout. Where you been? Skeezy's back. Perth in the house. Holla at your boy. Tim versus Arrow. And what is this, Rodrigo? Is this an American thing? Is this a sign of caution? For you American boys, if you have a good take on this, does anyone want to jump on the stream? Because I am genuinely interested on what you guys are thinking then. What is your initial instinct on why you're not getting this fight? Why aren't the books giving you Tszyu versus Spence? Is this usually with a main event and a guy like Errol, whose storied career, who's coming back, this should be, are they promoting this fight in America? Is it flying? Because I live in Sydney and it's happening right in my backyard. It's everywhere. The hype is real. Like, it's exciting. You know what I mean? I said it when it got signed. I couldn't wait for this fight. Just for the simple fact of being able to watch EJ in person. So why aren't you guys getting this? Is it, if the fight shows, if you get the option to bet on it tomorrow, Rodrigo, are you going to bet on it? Shout out to Amin. He says Bovada has it. Checked out. I saw the Hector Sosa. What's up, GK? I saw the Hector Sosa fight. I got asked about it. Dominic Francis, I think, is the favorite here. Kid's got elite speed and ring generalship. Yeah, I don't have a play on Sosa, but I was talking to one of the guys at dinner last night, and we were talking. you don't meet a lot of guys. I never meet a lot of guys. I never meet anyone in real life that has extensive boxing knowledge like you guys. So granted, he was part of the guys who came down here for the commentator team for No Limit, boxing content creator guy. And he asked me about Sosa versus Francis. And then I saw you guys in our Discord were asking about Sosa versus Francis. Isn't Sosa the dog here? Yeah, Sosa's the dog here. Look, I don't have action on this fight. I know about Hector Sosa. This is a good fight. There's a lot of action on the table, guys. And my boots are almost 98% dug in with all my bets by now. Usually it's already Friday. Because there's so many fights in the past, I've been burned historically with getting too big-eyed and thinking that I need to get action on every fight. So yeah, I said it last night. If you're finding yourself betting and you're watching the UFC and the way the UFC presents its fights one after another, 12 of them, usually 12, you don't have to bet on every single fight. So I think for me, partially, I have boundaries. Usually by Friday, my boots are already dug in. The 99% of my bets are in. The 2%, I'm waiting for the weigh-ins. I'm waiting to see what Fulton looks like. That'll probably be the only other bet I take, is depending on what both, because Liam Wilson historically doesn't cut well either. We've seen Liam Wilson down here look horrible on the scales. He's a big 130. So I got to see what he looks like. For Fulton to miss the open workouts yesterday, and from what I'm being told, he did it because he needed to cut weight. His weight's not coming off. That is definitely cause for hesitation for Fulton bettors. And Liam Wilson's odds are very interesting for the dog hunters. So the Sosa fight for me, I probably won't take action on it. You could probably talk me into dog hunting, though. Only fight I'm getting is Fulton. So you're getting that's crazy too, because that's the fight that kind of, I don't want to say is in question, but for me, I have questions. I got Akuso, Fulton, Liam, no Tim and Errol. Okay, I like Akuso there. Akuso will win this fight. He'll look good doing it. If you guys haven't seen Paulo Akuso, I'm interested to see what you think of him. He has a lot of hype behind him. Very athletic kid, very big, does a lot, flashy, gifted, fun fighter. Comes from a fighting family. Logically speaking, Fulton should box the ears off of Liam Wilson. Logically speaking. Should. But we know shoulds don't mean shit in boxing. A should means nothing in boxing. Because Liam Wilson, seeing him on at the grand arrivals, seeing him at the open workout, feeling like this dude, Liam Wilson, where he lacks maybe on world-class footwork or world-class fight IQ, he makes up for it with determination, intensity, preparation, the hunger. What I've seen in Liam Wilson this week, and and I'm not saying I'm betting on him yet. He seems to me one of these guys right now during fight week that won't be denied. So I need to know if Steph is locked in. And if Steph is not locked in, if he is underestimating Wilson, if his cardio isn't there, if he's not in shape, if he's not ready for the entirety of the entire fight to be in a dog fight, I mean, he could be in trouble, man. But logically, from a skill perspective, you would say Fulton should win. We have to see. They love Errol. Dude, come on, it's Errol. We love Errol everywhere. Errol's impossible not to love. This is why, I know that it's hard for me to explain to people in comment sections that Errol was one of my favorite fighters. But this isn't 2017. I tell you guys all the time, one of my favorite moments in this era of boxing was when he went to Sheffield and knocked out Kell Brook. I was screaming at the TV. I've been an Errol Spence. For all the people trolling me for taking Tszyu, I guarantee I know more about Errol than they do. I guarantee I've watched more fights of Errol than they do, and I guarantee I've known about him longer than they do. So I'm not coming from a hater perspective picking Tim. I have to use logic, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It'll be such an amazing story if Errol wins, and I know a lot of people are betting on that story, but sometimes in boxing, we don't always get that Hollywood ending, man. I meant rooting, got it, going no distance on. I meant rooting, got it, going. Oh, yes. Berlanga Butler, no distance. I love it. I did a double. So in a double, I think I check the tickets, Eli. I have that play on a double, and I'll tell the boys if you didn't get it. Yeah. So if you're on the live stream, there's 91 of you in here. A play that I have that I gave the JSB insiders. And if you're new to the game, if you're new to our community, every ticket that I'll give you will be plus money. So that's kind of my strength, is I find ways to double our money. So no matter your bankroll, no matter your wallet, no matter your bet, when our bets hit, we are at least doubling our money. Okay. So a double that I like at plus 123 is what Eli. I got Edgar Berlanga and Stephen Butler to not go the distance. So you're betting on a knockout, which I think is highly probable at 52%. And then Hamza Shiraz to get it done between rounds 1 through 6. That's playing 47%. If you put them on the same ticket, that's plus 123. I always say every week, no matter if we go 6 for 6, 5 for 7, 2 for 4, there's never any bets that I'm comfortable with. So I'm never going to sit here and tell you guys I'm confident in any of my picks. And this is coming from a guy who watches all the fights, does film studies, coaches, boxes, been in boxing since I was 7, over 3 decades, 3.5 decades. I'm 44. So I've been around the sport my entire life. Grew up with world champions, my childhood best friend, Kelly the Ghost Pavlik, been at world title fights, even all of that good stuff. I've never sat here and told you I feel confident in a bet ever, because you can't. If you're a gambling man, if you're making money and doing this for a living, there's no way you can feel comfortable with a bet because you know all the variables. In boxing, anything. Look at last weekend, Ruben Aguiar. To this day, even though we won, dude, we had it. One of our boys won $130,000 last weekend on my picks, on our picks as a community. 130K. Receipts are up. Check the YouTube. Ask about it. Even having a weekend like that where all of us, like, you should be doing amazing. The fight that sticks out to me is Ruben Aguiar versus Wiggins. Versus Trigger Wiggins. Because things like that can happen. So we have so many examples of things like this happening. A cut could happen, a DQ could happen, a ref could F everything up, Adelaide Bird could F everything up. So it's hard for, if you're going into your betting and you're confident, I think that, you should, I think it's probably better not to be confident, because then strategically it might realign how you go about choosing what you're putting your money on. Like what's going to happen with Ruben Aguiar in that DQ, it will be overturned to a no contest, and we will not be giving back our money. You know what I'm saying? So things like that can't happen. But I love that double. Of all the tickets, I'm confident, of Hamza coming out super aggressive, getting Simon out of there early, and I'm confident with Butler or Berlanga getting knocked out. I love that. I actually, maybe it's not that I'm confident. I love that bet. I think that's a fun bet to go full unit on. Errol taking Timmy to school. Logically, live life fast. Logically, I agree with live life fast. Same thing I said logically about Steph Fulton. Logically, Steph Fulton should box the ears off of Lamb. We know, though, like we talked about, there's other variables to this. Logically, Errol Spence should put on a masterclass against Tim. But we know there's other variables. So, as a bettor who makes a living off of this, sometimes you got to look past logic and look at trends, variables. I don't, and we're 30 minutes in, and all week, if you would have told me we were going to do 30 minutes into our live and not talk about Errol, I would have called you crazy. I am burned out about talking about it. But I will say, as a coach, as a kid who started boxing as a 7-year-old, as a fan of Errol Spence and everything he meant to boxing, everything he means to boxing, I don't think Errol should have fought after the car crash because I grew up around the sport. I know what it's like to go to a gym and see former champions slurring their speech. I know what it's like to know 35-year-olds who can't tie their shoes. I've seen firsthand personally the outcomes of damage. And so at 36 years old, I look at Errol and I think of him, what will he be like at 60? What will his functions be like at 50? I think his degradation is already evident. I think it's been there. I don't think it's shocking to say with the car crash, the damage, the light. I don't think he should be fighting. I have Chonko. Yeah, I haven't shared the ticket. I'll share it. Guys, I'm gonna show you what I did for the UFC. I put it in. I'm gonna go back to boxing, but so this is a ticket I haven't shared with the JSB insiders yet. It's my UFC plays. It is a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 4-leg. So I have a UFC quad. I did a UFC quad money line 4-legger, and it pays plus 128. And I got John Pork's on there. So John Pork is on there. So I have that. I'm going to share that in the group. This is plus 128. It's Hussein, Tuchalov, Patterson, Zainikov. So these fights go down. These are my UFC parlays. We've been on fire with the UFC. We'll see if we're going to continue that. We've hit everything for the last few weeks. My dog this week for the UFC is Mike Davis. He's the underdog for a reason. He's traveling. We talk about it all the time. He's at 188 now. I guess there's rumors that he's injured. I could care less about that. My boots are dug. Mike Davis is a whole dog. His fight style, his intensity. He's going to go in there and he'll fight for your money. So Mike Davis is my UFC dog of the week on his own ticket. Tim Tszyu is my boxing dog of the week on his own ticket. I took Nestor following I did a JSB Discord dog of the week. It's Nestor. And then that 4-leg is my UFC quad that I'll share to the group. Posting the July 16th betting slip if it hits. Fulton plus Tim, let's go, bro. Eli, let's go. Moonshot, baby. We're not going to get most of the Australian card. What's up, Jay? That's crazy. How are you guys watching it in America? I think they gave the draw to Fleming on purpose. Yeah, the draw. That wasn't a draw, man. Even though I took Fleming. I broke that fight down. I was thinking like Jake Wiley is a kid with one gear. Jake Wiley is a kid that people know him because of a loss. Like from a betting perspective, and there's parallels with Derevyanchenko. Not fight style, not legacy, not career. We know that Derevyanchenko's a world level guy, but it's hard for me to bet on a guy who's best known for his losses, right? Fleming got beat against Wiley. They gave him a draw. Ahmad Rita is trending in totally different direction. That Bruno was a solid step up for Ahmad. I thought Bruno was going to be too classy with his experience. I learned everything I needed to learn about Ahmad Rita's fight IQ against Bruno. I was at that fight. I was really impressed. I talked to him afterwards. I talked to Bruno afterwards. Bruno was talking about that he was struggling with Ahmad Rita's speed. He was struggling with Ahmad Rita's aggression and his feints. And I think that this version of Paul Fleming it's not shocking. He's on the slope. Jake Wiley, one gear. Fleming didn't look great against Jake. Derevyanchenko is fighting Jaleel Hackett. Derevyanchenko turns 41 in October. Everyone's going to tell you that he's tough, he's durable, world class, fought the better resume, which is all true. They're going to tell you he's never been stopped, which is all true. What I can't get past to take Derevyanchenko as my dog is that he's best known for his losses. He'll be 41, and he's a guy who's best known for his losses. And in your 40s, moving down a division against a big 23-year-old aggressive guy in Jaleel Hackett, who I rate, I think the question won't be, will Jaleel win? I think that in Jaleel on the money line, I got him at 56%. The real question for me, if you want to get sexy with Jaleel, is how will he win? I think that's where the money will be. I apologize, I got it wrong. I have copied them 2 big bets, the 660 and the other. Appreciate you. What weight class did you use to fight? I started boxing when I was 7, competitively as a 7-year-old in a steel town, boxing town, Youngstown, Ohio. My dad brought me in there so I could learn how to defend myself. And then they made me stop boxing competitively as a 15-year-old. So I didn't go through puberty until I was 17. So my point is, I never boxed competitively as a man, but I could, I played other sports. I played baseball, football, basketball, started all 3 varsity sports in high school, played college baseball. I picked boxing back up when I was 31. So I'm 44 now. I'm 5'11", 185 pounds. So that's my man. When I was a kid, I weighed nothing. Tiny, real small. I didn't mature. My dad was 6'4", like 270 pounds. He was a college football player. So I matured late, and they made me stop boxing competitively as a young kid because going up against kids who were, I got the brakes beaten off of me as one bad time, and they're like, we're done here. This ain't for you, bro. You just got, my dad was laughing. Rest in peace to my father, man. He passed away years ago when I was in my 20s. The lessons my dad taught me the most were like how to laugh at your losses and not take yourself too serious. I remember my junior year of high school, there were a couple colleges recruiting me for baseball. And we're playing this team, we're playing at home. I had 3 at bats that game. I went 2 for 3. 2 of those at bats were home runs. The 3rd at bat I struck out. And on the car ride home, the only thing my dad said on the car ride home, he was like, I can't believe you let that pussy strike you out. Didn't mention the home runs. And that, in a nutshell, is how I was raised. That was the man who raised me. So at the time, I hated him. At the time, I didn't understand what he was doing psychologically. But as I grew into who I was and who I am now, I realized the lessons he was teaching me. So shout out. Shout out to Terrence Stofko. Gone way too soon. Probs have a job for Peters, by the way. Guys, we got 85 of you in here, 40 minutes in. Like the video for me. Took the points on one parlay. Let's go. Did you get a picture with... I'm not a picture guy. If you didn't know that. So the one thing I want to let you guys know is that, and this isn't supposed to be I'm not coming from an ego perspective here. I've been in gyms my whole life. I've been an athlete my whole life. I'm friends with guys who became world champions. I'm friends with guys who are famous now. One of my childhood friends is a very famous stand-up comic. I've been around famous people for over 2 decades. I'm not a guy to see a boxer to take a photo with. If I have a photo with a boxer, I'm either, doing a documentary with him or sort of like we're at a bar. So it's just not, it's not like, that's how I go. That's how I've always kind of been though. And it'd be because I'd be kicking it with him, or I'm not gonna be, hey Tim, let's get a photo. It's just, I know how, yeah, I don't know. It's always kind of been weird to me. I'm confused. The Sitchins fight 10 or 12. The books say 12. I think it's 12. Been MAI for 3 months for heartbreak. I'm back. We all go through heartbreak, brother. We miss you, Skeezy. Baz in the house. Did you get any good info? Great. The info I got, and I'm going to keep it simple, and I started with this, boys, is wait till the weigh-in. And that's kind of the general consensus with like the media boys, the behind the scenes content creators who are like in that, who are at Bondi Boxing, who are at the open workouts. That's kind of the general consensus for the bettors. We got to wait till the weigh-ins. Other than that, I'll let you know. I'll be there. I'll be filming. I'll live stream a little bit from there. As soon as I know where my money's at, I'll let you know. You'll be the first to know, boys. Hitchin shit. It's a 12er. Bills fan, it's going to be a close one. I think it's going to be close. I think Fleming obviously has the experience, world level, Olympian, Fleming was this close from getting a world title, going to the world level. You know, great boxer, very slick, uses the entire ring, awkward to deal with. Will, at this age, Paul Fleming be able to deal with a young, energetic, determined, pressure style fighter? Will Fleming be able to keep him at bay for the entirety of the fight? And will Rita be able to catch him? It's a great step up. It's a great. It's the one I'm looking most forward to seeing. I mean, obviously, Tszyu. I can't wait to see Arrow live. But in terms of there's a few of these fights. Rita versus Fleming. I'm really interested in Wilson and Fulton. The card's a good card, guys. Definitely looking for a dog. Appreciate the info. All good, brother. Johnny, can you clarify for us? It's 12 rounds. Am I tripping, guys? What? Why are you guys thinking it's? Why are you guys thinking it's? Is somebody saying it's 10? Let's fact check this. So we're gonna fact check, and I'll get to you, Kendall, with Nash. Let's fact check. Let's see what my book's saying. I thought it was 12 all week. It does matter if you're new to the game. The reason why it matters from 10 to 12 for the outcome. You got an extra 6 minutes if the boys are searching a knockout, if the boys are searching distance, and the championship rounds. You know, No, Hitchens. This is a 12 rounder. I'm almost 99% convinced. Yeah. So my book, yeah, it's 12 rounds, guys. Missed your thoughts, Skeezy. Heads up. Yeah, Skeezy's a beast. I got it over 6.5. Jacob Bank, Gonzalez versus Moreno. That Arnold, dude, Emiliano Moreno did not look good in his last fight. Mr. Davis, Hector Sosa. You're taking all the overs then. You're an over guy. See, this is FJQ style. And I talk about this all the time. If you're new to the game, if you're winning money consistently, what's happening is you're learning your own style of betting. Some guys do overs. Some guys are knockout prop guys. I'm a double your money guy. I'm a dog hunter. I didn't realize I was a dog hunter until I started doing this publicly, and I realized I was pretty good at it. So basically finding where we feel the bookies might have it wrong. So those are my strengths. I don't have any experience betting overs, by the way. I'm not going to sit here and say it's such learning how to bet on boxing. It's such a vast sort of encyclopedia to learn. There's so many angles, and through trial and error, you realize what you're good at. What sort of props? We have guys in our Discord who make their living off of punch props. Like, I'm such a pussy. I look at like betting punch props to me causes anxiety. Like I hear punch props, you might as well ask me to speak Latin. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm a beast all around. There's so much to learn. There's so many. And if you're struggling, let's say you're not winning, maybe it's time for you to mix it up. Maybe if you're, doing, over and unders and you're not hitting, maybe try to do money line or try to see if you could find a dogs, try to do a short parlay, that sort of thing. I'm gonna put you on upset fight, Arnold Gonzalez. This is the Arnold's fighting yeah. No. I don't have action on it. Arnold's a plus 205. Emiliano Moreno, we know who he is on our channel. He did not look good in recent form. So I'm not saying I'm gonna place it. I think that's a good dog play, Arnold Gonzalez. Also, I think the odds for Troy Nash, to answer, one of our insiders brought up Troy Nash. I apologize who it was. It was on the screen earlier. I didn't get to his, but Troy Nash has a lot of potential. This is a rematch. Nash and Ethan Perez have fought before. Nash is 7-0-1. He has one knockout. Why did I think they fought before? Did they fight in the amateurs? My bad. Why did I think Ethan Perez fought Troy Nash in the Amis? Maybe it was in the Amis. I'm looking. No, my bad. I misspoke. I cover so many of these goddamn fights. So he's coming off the fight against Brian Rodriguez in a majority decision that was really close. Ethan Perez is 8-0. I mean, I don't have action on this fight. I can't sit here with a confident face and tell you that fight's on my radar. I like Gary's rule on the Nestor fight. Don't bet on shitty fighters. Yeah, that rule, I mean, don't bet on shitty fighters. But, like, the word shitty, are you gatekeeping talent? So every fighter can't be world class. I've definitely seen him take shitty fighters before. So then, are we being hypocritical about it? We got into he had a bit of a meltdown when I was poking holes in his theory about this exact thing. So you're telling me Aston Brown's not a shitty fighter? He took him to beat Sam Gilly. The list goes on. Like, you can't just say don't bet on shitty fighters. We're not here to gatekeep the talent level of a guy. We're here to win money. It's not up to us to do matchmaking and judge if a guy, it's up to you as the bettor. Do you want to wager on a guy depending on where they are in their career? Not everybody's going to be world class. This isn't the channel to call any fighter shitty either. So it's just not the rhetoric I use. So maybe that's his rule. I've seen him be hypocritical about that though. If again, in debates with me. Still down on DraftKings. Arnold Gonzalez, Berlanga, Jaleel, Hitchens, Zia. Get your money, FJ. Just adding more information. Nister got knocked down twice by a bum 5 years ago. He got dropped by a bum. I think after the fight, he got dropped by Golden Boy. I'm still on Nister to win. If we think Spence's punch resistance is not there, would it be crazy to bet? Dude, plus 700, baby. I think, like, any Errol Spence, Tim Tszyu bets shouldn't be mortgage bets. Shouldn't be, hey Johnny, I got 4,500 in my betting account. I'm going to take my 4,500 and double it on Tim Tszyu versus Errol. That wouldn't be my strategy. But there are fun props if you're leaning Tim. A prop that I'm going to play is 1 through 6 at plus 725. 100%. I love that prop because I feel Errol's resistance is gone. And I feel with Jeff Fennick, the game plan, I love the fact that Fennick has kept Tim Tszyu closed off this week in terms of sharing fight camp clips. I think they're going to be super aggressive. If I'm Tim, I'm jumping on the front foot. I'm throwing that jab cross combo. I'm pressuring Errol. I'm punching him body head, keeping it basic, putting him on the ropes, and getting him out of there. I think a 1 through 6 Tszyu plus 725. I mean, if there's ever a sprinkle. And then on the back end, if you're an Errol fan, 1 through 6 Errol is probably paying something similar. Guys, like the video. 90 of you are in here. I appreciate all the support. We got new JSB insiders joining. We got super chats in the house. All you guys are beasts. We're a growing community. August 1st, next week, we're celebrating our year anniversary. We turn 1 year old, guys. Who would have thought? I never heard of Discord in my life last year. It's become the best part of my day. Live streaming with you guys and building our community. I'm not even freaking lying. Other than my girl. Obviously, that goes without saying. And then training. I love working out. I love being healthy too. But our Discord community, mate, come on, dude. We turn 1 year next week. I'm gonna have a cupcake. We'll do a birthday celebration. I'll get a cupcake with 1 candle. What up, Johnny? Good day, sir. Tim fight on Kelchi for DK. All right, boys. John Pablo spreading the knowledge. You Americans, the Tim fight is on Kelchi. We don't get that in Australia. I know Kelchi. I only know about Kelchi because of, like, one of my sort of like guilty pleasures is watching like stupid. I'm not gonna say it. I kind of like watching political debates. You know, I've always been like that since I was a kid. I remember watching like black and white early 1980s footage of presidential debates. I'm a freaking nerd, dude. Don't let what I do fool you. Like I grew up having to hide my nerdism from my friends who were all athletes and fighters. But like I would like, that's why I've written a couple books. I read all the time. I love learning. And when I was a kid, I used to find old footage in the library of like presidential debates of like these old guys trying to debate their points. And so now what I do on YouTube, Instagram, my Instagram algorithm is so cooked with like guys debating politics, and Kalshi will be sponsoring them. That's how I was like, what the fuck? What is Kalshi? And Kalshi will be doing these like odds on who will win general elections. I was like, what is this shit? Like, will so and so say a swear word in their next debate? I was like, you guys in America are betting on everything. But that's the only thing I know about Kelshi is that it sponsors this content that pops up on my Instagram feed with guys like people debating. Let's go, Ed. If Eddie Baggs, I'm saying it all week, boys. If Eddie Baggs can't beat Stephen Butler, we're all in trouble, mate. I have not given up on Eddie Baggs. I think the knockout is upon us. But I also think it'd be wise for all of us to hedge on that double I gave you, the fight not to go the distance. Keyshawn Davis, solid fundamentals, has a good jab, set up right hand, has been active, is coming to fight. Let's go. There you go. And this is why I love our community, because this isn't an echo chamber. FJQ says, be hesitant on taking Nestor as the dog, and this is his reasoning. I'm not telling you who's right or wrong. I'm not telling you listen to me or listen to him. Listen to the back and forth and then make your own opinions. Shout out to FJ. Yes, it's an American thing. The Butler and Wilson for the upsets. I can't be mad. I love this name. I always, every time you comment, I always say I love his name. Only because it reminds me of How High and my boy Scruncho. Every time you mention this or comment on my live stream, you get me distracted because I read the name Nah Never and I think Now Netta. And then I think of the assistant pimp. And I think of Mike Epson, Scruncho, and How High. No one say that Now Netta like you say Now Netta Potter. I don't even know what that shit means, but it sounds good. No, I'm American Spence's favorite. Yeah. No, he is the favorite. Zoo's the dog. No hype. There's no hype here. Okay. Oh, the books are scared. All right, guys. What I think is going to happen for the Tim Tszyu bettors, if you're in America and the book suddenly drops, you'd have to think based on the superstar aura of Errol that when you guys are getting the option to bet collectively in North America, all of this money is going to be coming in on Errol. So if you're an Errol Spence bettor and you could get this fight, if I were you, I would be smashing him right now on the money line. Inverse to that, if you agree with me and you see this fight going Tim Tszyu's way, I would wait, because as all that money is going to be coming in collectively due to the superstardom aura of Errol, what's that going to make the odds for Tim do? Go like this. So why take him at plus 135 now when come fight night, he'll probably be maybe plus 235, because the odds are only an outcome of the money coming in and money coming out on said fighter. In U.S., Kalshi, Bet U.S., Bovada all have Tim versus Spence. And I assume, just like here in Australia, that Errol's the favorite. Boo Boo, I don't know why I giggled at Boo Boo Andrade's fighting this weekend. I forgot. Demetrius Andrade was in a press conference. I forgot which fight it was. It was a couple fights ago, and his opponent kept calling him doo-doo. He kept calling him doo-doo. So on my book, when I see Demetrius Andrade's fighting, I just think of doo-doo Andrade. Andrade. Shout out to Rhode Island. How many pro boxers do you know from Rhode Island? Yeah, so the odds, every book will have Errol as the favorite. Is the major reason why it's not on here. We're changing the lines in a lot of fights. Yeah, look, guys, look to the right of the screen by the chat. You never see this. This is the fluctuation of this is crazy. So Errol at one time went all the way up to $1.80. He started at $1.50, went up to $1.80, and he's now down. It says the fluctuation's been incredible. You never see fights fluctuate that much. If it does show up, I'm betting Errol, but take it, bro. No cap, Errol gonna use that southpaw jab. Does Tim know how to get past those? Look, both guys are flawed. I don't think any the one thing I will never do is bullshit you. The one thing I'll never do is bullshit you. There is no way I'm telling you that in their prime, Tim beats Errol. Hell no. That doesn't happen. They both have their strengths. They both have their weaknesses. At the highest level in their prime, Errol, in my opinion, is one of the best in the world. Was one of the best in the world. His run, 2015 to 2018, nobody beats that Errol. At 147, nobody beats that Errol. 2015 to 28, especially after 2017. This is the Errol, though, when I think 11 wins in a row, 11 knockouts, where he was like sharp, aggressive, accurate, sturdy, determined, $1 million smile. Dude, come on, Errol Spence. What a stud. Beast, the truth. Man down. I'm a big Errol guy. So I'm not saying that Tim's a better fighter than him. Sometimes in betting, we have these matchups where you fade certain guys for whatever reasons. Can Tim get past the jab from a Southie? The last thing I'm going to do is bullshit you. Also, I'm not going to compare it. People, he couldn't get past Seb Fendora. Okay. not really a great comparison to compare Southpaws to. A 6'6" giant knockout artist who's growing into his man strength, who in my opinion is the best fighter in the world at 54. Like that's not this. And Tim was having his way. Like Tim loses to Seb twice. Looked good in the first one. Obviously, there's a bunch of things to talk about in both fights. And then he loses to Murtazayev, a guy at 154 who I think beats most everybody in the world too. So it's like, all right. And then with Errol, his only loss is to a guy who's a generational talent. And we're like, all right. So we cancel that stuff out, and then we have to come to our conclusion about the other things. I don't think it's going to be a jab. I don't think Errol's going to all of a sudden sit on the back foot like Ronnie says. They think all of a sudden Ronnie Shields in one fight camp is going to have Errol Spence Jr. using the entire ring and fighting off the jab. No, I don't expect any of it. Maybe in the first round he tries it. Errol is an old dog. You're not teaching that. The Errol's DNA is a samurai. That kid does not have a backward step in him. He's coming forward. Ronnie's acting like, showing the clips of him using the entire ring, pop, 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 boom. It's going to be like this. I think it's going to be like this early. Whichever side you like, if you like Errol, I would take Errol 1 through 6. If you like Tim, I would take Tim 1 through 6. That's exactly what I see happening. Both guys have major questions with their durability. Both guys have major questions with their psychology. Both guys have major questions with their recent performances. Once we deduce all of that, one of them has been more active than the other. One of them wasn't in a car crash. One of them lived a lifestyle of, Tim Tszyu is a guy who never drinks. Samurai, always in shape, focused. His questions are all mental. Errol's a guy when he was younger. It's not crazy. He talks about it. Struggled with alcoholism. Figured it out. Had to go through his own sort of ups and downs. The car crash, in my opinion, not the same guy. Before the car crash, after the car crash. It's not shocking. Not the same guy. Gets hit a lot. His style, all week I've been telling you, his style alone, without the damage, without the loss to Terrence, without the car crash. Let's say he goes into this fight and he's been active and he's 36 and he's undefeated. I would still say Errol Spence Jr.'s style does not age well. That is not a style you take deep into your 30s. You don't take a marauding, pressure forward, jab heavy, body punching in the pocket style, take one to give one. You don't turn pro, over a decade ago. He turned over in 2013 and that's not a style that ages well regularly. So I don't like Errol's balance. I don't like his footwork. I don't think he has his legs. I don't think he has any punch resistance left. I saw that against Ugas. Ugas had him wobbled a couple different times with shots that he used to eat. Obviously, Bud Crawford destroyed him and beat the brakes off of him. That's the punch resistance element. The 3 years of inactivity, he cut his teeth at 47. The fight's at 160. Different size gloves. Like all of these things. How am I betting on Errol other than I'm a fan of Errol? And I get it. Other than I'm a fan of Errol, how else am I betting on Errol? And on my channel and our community, I always tell you guys, I can't bet with my heart. I have to bet with my wallet. Part of me is I want Errol to win, but I'm not betting on him. It would be amazing for boxing if he comes down here. Could you imagine? And out of 55 guys, he's the first one to ever beat a Tszyu. 54 different times fighters came to Australia or fighters fought in Tszyu. 54 different fights, and they're 54-0. And all of a sudden, has a chance in the Tszyu family's legacy to be the 55th fight and be the first guy ever to beat a Tszyu on Australian soil. That's not happening. I understand you're going with them, but are you sure you want to put the dog of the week? Yeah, of course. Come on, baby. This is how I'm a boots dug in guy. Am I sure? I was sure. I placed that bet in June. Am I sure? Shout out to Bando Boys. Shout out to Bando Boys, my guy. Hold on. I placed this bet June 19th. As soon as I saw Tim was a dog in June, boom. And I didn't share it though until I didn't want, and you know what? All the haters on Twitter who call me the swindler, I was actually being nice to them because I didn't share it. I kept it in my back pocket because sometimes they get pissed when I share fights a week early and it crashes the odds. I'm trying to be a nice guy. DraftKings has Tszyu versus Spence. Guys, I got to wrap it up soon. It's my girlfriend's birthday today. Best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. I've been with her for forever. I met her at a grocery store in the end of 2017, going on 9 years. What? Still in love with her like I just met her. So, I've been watching Patreon. I'm going to try to catch up to these. There's 98 of you in here. Like the video for me. Let me know how you're going to do. Guys, tomorrow I have sparring at 9 a.m. And then from there, I'm going to come back home, shower, and then go to the weigh-in. So if any JSB insiders are going to be at the ICC for the weigh-ins in Sydney at 12 p.m., let me know. We'll link up. We'll do a photo together because that's some shit I'll get down with. I'm not going to go up to a fighter and take a photo with him. But I might be able to go live after. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go live after. I might just stay out. I could be tomorrow's Saturday. I could be kind of a madman sometime. Who knows what'll happen? I might link up with some of the boys. You might not see me do a live tomorrow. So if this is it, good luck on your bets. If you're in the Discord, you could DM me if you have any other questions and message me. If you're a JSB insider, either here on YouTube or Patreon, and you're not in the Discord, definitely message me and I'll send you the link. Whether we agree or we disagree, it's all love. I hope you guys win. Be smart with your money. If you're up, withdraw. Make it real. Nothing's worse than winning, and then you get greedy, and then you lose, and you have nothing to show for. If you're up, withdraw. Buy yourself a gift. Buy your loved one something. Pay for something. Make your winnings real. Because if you're winning and you're never withdrawing and you're not making it real, what is it then? You know what I'm saying? And on that note, I appreciate everyone here. Best community in the world, man.